Hello, Internet. Thank you once again for being here. And look, I found another person who has willingly volunteered to talk to me. And that is the amazing Kirby Ellwood. So I'm going to ask Kirby to do a brief introduction of herself to all of you.
Oh my goodness. Hello, everyone. My name is Kirby Ellwood, and I am here with Jen, the wonderful, amazing Jen, to answer some questions, some burning questions that some of you may have.
Okay, so let's just start really simple. Where were you born, Kirby Ellwood, and where did you grow up?
Oh, I was born in Cleveland, Ohio, back in
You don't have to
98.
date yourself. Don't worry. You don't have to date. We're ageless on the
Did.
internet.
I did it. I know.
And then were you born, were you like city? Were you small town?
Well, I grew up in Cleveland, but my parents kind of moved around a bit. So we were like in Cleveland, and then like most of my childhood that I remember, we were kind of living out in the country in this place called Columbia Station. Like we had cows on our street, we had horse farms, and um, the longest driveway you could possibly imagine.
Yeah.
Imagine, shoveling that in the winter, not fun.
Oh,
Um, thank God my dad got one of those like tractor things eventually. So he just was like on his John Deere doing the
yeah.
snow. And I was like, "You got this, Dad. I believe in you." um, but yeah, it's a really beautiful like place. We had this beautiful backyard, and um we were living on this like half acre, I believe. So we would throw these like really fun 4th of July parties. That was my favorite time. That's still my favorite holiday is 4th of July because my parents would throw these like huge holiday parties. Um but yeah, I mean, I loved living there. I'm glad I don't live there now. There's nothing really to do there
Yeah.
other than like roam around as a kid.
So it's good for growing up, but not for career.
Yeah, exactly. I think I'm very blessed that I was able to grow up there because I think it
Mm.
gave me a really solid foundation as a human. Because most people are quite nice. Uh, but for career-wise, I don't think it was the best place for me personally.
Now I have to ask you, because I always end up wanting to know the food questions. What is like your must-have at a 4th of July party then? What's the
Oh,
food that has
must
to be
have.
there that you're like, that makes it for me? If that's not there, I'm gonna miss it.
That is such a great question. I don't think I don't think I have any must-have foods. I mean, maybe like classic. Okay. If I could, perfect food option, probably a veggie burger.
Nice.
Yeah, because I'm vegetarian.
Barbecue, properly cooked outside.
Yeah, that would be really fun. Like on the grill, like do the whole thing. Like that would be really, really nice. That and some lemonade.
Oh, I like it. That's classic. Sometimes you don't need to overcomplicate things.
Yeah,
Um,
simple.
so was the acting bug with you from very young, or were there other interests as well?
Oh God, no, I had no idea what I wanted to do. Like I was so shy, like growing up. I was just like this little shy little baby, and I didn't really want to go talk to people or make friends or so I remember growing up I had a harder time making friends. Um but when I got to high school I had loads of friends and I got over that. But I didn't actually start acting until I was in high school, and I did I don't know how this would consider, but like I did like background in a play, like for school. Like, like they're one of the side characters that don't have any lines, but you're just kind of on stage doing stuff.
Yeah.
I was one of those. And I was like, this is great. I'm happy with this. And then when I moved schools, and then I was dating this guy, and him and all of his friends did theater and all of this stuff. And they're like, you have to audition for this play. And I was like, no, absolutely not. I'm not doing that. And I don't know how they somehow convinced me to do it, to audition. And I was like, fine, I'll audition. I won't get a part. And then I got a part. And I was like, wait, now I have to do this thing. I'm going to be up in front of the whole school, like doing this thing. And I was so nervous, but I did it. And I remember people being like, oh, that was really funny. Like, because it was this girl who was this kleptomaniac on a date. So she was on the date and she basically gaslighting the guy into like convincing him that she wasn't stealing everything on the table, and she even stole the tablecloth. And she shoved
Oh,
it under her
that's
shirt
brilliant.
in her bag, like stole all the plates. And she was like, "How dare you accuse me of stealing?" It was this crazy, ridiculous skit. It was so funny. And I even after that, I was like, okay, great. Did that, never doing that again. Like, and then in college, I took a class on a whim, like 2 weeks into the semester. Just was like, because I went to college and I was like trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and I had no idea. And I was just throwing shit at the wall, being like, maybe I want to be an interior designer. Okay, no. How about an architect? No. And then I ended up doing molecular and cellular biology at one point, and I was like, what are you doing? So then I finally took this class on a whim, and I just like fell in love with it. I was like, wait, this is like so fun, because it felt like such a safe environment, I think, at that time in my life. And I was able to be like this like fun, strange girl who just had to laugh and do weird things on stage. And I think I just fell in love with that part of it.
Because there's a real thing, isn't there, about when, particularly when you're in. I mean, I've got a 15-year-old who's got it at the moment, and there's often that divide, isn't there, at school? Because there'll be some people who are really like, they're so clear on what they want to do. You know, I want
Mm-hmm.
to be a vet, I want to be a doctor, I want to do law, I want to do this, and they have their whole path. And it seems to be that, or like you just don't know, do you? And then you almost feel more pressured because everyone else around you seems to have their entire life figured out, and it's
Yeah.
really tough.
Yeah. It's so hard because you're like, everyone else knows, like, shouldn't I know what I want to do? Like, why don't I have an idea? So I think for me, that's what college was. I was like, because even when I went in, they make you pick a major. They made me pick a major when I first went. I was like, why can't I go as undeclared? And they were like, no. So I ended up starting as interior design, but that's obviously not what I ended with.
Yeah.
But for me, it was just like, I'm just going to figure out what it is that I want to do, because I don't ever want to get stuck with something that makes me unhappy, because I think I saw too many people do that. And then my parents, um they were doing what they liked and wanted to do. At least I assume. From my perspective, they did.
Yeah.
So I think that was a real champion for me to kind of do what I wanted to do, or figure out what it was at least.
So once you've started that class, then
Hmm.
what's the journey from that to then your first paid acting job?
Yeah, it was a long journey.
Okay.
It was a long journey because well, I'm just gonna move my phone. Fast. I,
I knew if you're
I
comfortable
was,
sharing.
no, totally. Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out the best path to tell the
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
So I started taking those classes in college, and then I ended up finding an acting school nearby so that I didn't have to stop taking classes over the summer, and I could continue learning acting. And I found this class with Jessica Morse Hood called the Hood School of Acting. It's like Houde, um, not Hood. And I just fell in love with her class, and I just took as many classes as I could. And she was just so amazing and so nice. And she ended up letting me work for her to like earn classes, because it was so expensive. I'm in college. I'm not really making a lot of money. So she was a pivotal person in my life to getting to where I am today. But you take so many classes, and then the next step is getting an agent, and then you get an agent. And luckily, when I was in school, I booked a short film. Like the same semester I decided I wanted to be an actor, I booked my first lead in a short film, like in college. And I was like, wow, this is so easy. Famous last words, you know? You just get a lot of
Yeah.
stuff like the beginning, and you're like, oh, I could totally do this. And then you get this like lull of like, can I do this? Is this gonna be the thing I do? But to me, I never had a backup plan. So it was like, well, it's this or nothing. So like you better do it. I literally, oh, I do remember my first paid acting job. I was like, what was it? In 2019, I booked I believe this is the same year I started acting too. It might have been either the first or the second year I started acting. I booked the I it wasn't a lead. It was a supporting role in a SAG feature. So they actually Taft Hartley'd me. I booked it when I was living in Ohio still, and I got to play the younger version of the lead girl. It was a horror movie called She Watches from the Woods. And I don't think that movie ever came out. I think it went to festivals and it was in a festival and it never ever came out. So I've never seen it again since the festival. So I don't know. That movie's probably never coming out. But it was like I really enjoyed my part in it. I got electroshock therapy and I remember I still have the check that they gave me in that. I make these like vision boards. They're similar to this, but think
Oh,
vision
yeah.
boardy.
Yeah.
And I taped that to the back of my vision board. So I
I
still have
love
it. It
it.
was like $1,000 or something. And to me at the time, that was like a crazy amount of money. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I made $1,000 doing this thing that I like love. And someone paid me to do this. This is crazy. I would have done this for free, you know? I mean, I've done a lot of it for free, but they paid me. This is crazy. Uh, so it did take a lot of time, but it didn't at the same time. I remember when I got that phone call that I booked that, I screamed and I cried like in my apartment. Just like I like could not believe it. I don't think I've ever felt so excited and happy since that first time. Like it was just picture me bouncing around the walls being like, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I think I actually booked this thing." Like this is like the most insane thing I've ever experienced. I don't know if that answered your question.
No,
I
it
kind of gave
does. And it's just lovely knowing that it meant that much to you. I also want to ask about vision boards. Do you keep all your old ones?
Oh my God, I have them all.
Yes.
They're on my wall over here.
Yeah, no, vision boards are amazing. If people
Should
haven't
I show
made
you
vision
one? Do
boards,
you want to see one?
yeah, basically we need to tell the internet why vision boards are the best thing ever.
Well, I feel like a lot of them have come true. Which one do you want to see? I have four. I have my first one. The
Whichever
first,
one you're comfiest sharing, it's got to be what you feel good sharing.
I'll show you my favorite one. It wasn't my last year, but it was the year before. I'm going to show you that one. Hold on. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
This one.
Oh, so
Yeah.
focus was your word of the year then. That was the word, focus. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, focus and just like, and then I don't know, just like things I wanted to work. I make it more like it's more like it's more like art to me too. So I'm
Uh,
like, I want to be, when I look at it, I want to be like, oh, it's so pretty. Like at the same time as I'm like subconsciously taking in all of the magic that vision boards can create for you. And slowly I think they are coming true. So I'm like, some of the things I've put on there multiple years and I'm like, okay, well now that one is coming true. Not everything, but you know, all good things take time, as they say. So,
yeah.
do you do
Well,
vision boards?
yeah, I'm going to do like a terrible advert for my friend. But I have a friend who's called the Queen of Vision Boards. Who's called Rachel Lintham. And I'm going to put a link to her website because, yeah, she's been teaching vision boards since about, gosh, like way before the internet got onto them. She's done like workshops with Google and all that. But yeah, she's used them for about 10 years and everything. Even like the house that they live in was a house that she put on the vision board. And there's all this stuff about like it's sort of positive like reaffirmation for your brain of just you've got to
Yeah.
just look at it daily and it just somehow putting it out there like the energy in it, but yeah, it works. They do seem to work. So
Oh my God, I have to take a look at that link when
I will send you
you
pictures.
post it. I'm like, I need to see it. Like, I love
Yeah,
looking at people's vision boards because also it's kind of like the inside of people's psyches, you know? Like looking at their vision board because it's all of their like hopes and dreams and everything that they like wish to aspire to. And I'm like, I want to know what you want out of life. Like, that's really cool.
that's so lovely. Honestly, I feel really privileged that you shared that. So thank you. So I have to ask now then, am I right in thinking you currently live in LA?
I do. I do live in LA.
So when, as a working actress, do you decide LA is where I need to be? And
Oh my
how is it
goodness.
making that move? Because that must be quite big to uproot yourself and go, right, I'm going to go to LA and make it work there.
Yeah, it wasn't really that scary at the time because I had planned to move to LA at least a year in advance. So when this happened, I was actually working at Target in electronics. So I did a work transfer to a store in Hollywood, I think it was.
Mm.
So I was like, well, good. I have work lined up. That's great. And then the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, it's March. By the time I leave in December, everything will be squared away. Boy, was I wrong about that. But I had already I'd already told everybody that I was leaving. And for me to back out of that just felt like I was backing, like I would never go if I didn't go when I said I was going to go.
Mm.
Like I already had the work transfer in order. I was like, well, I'm not going to let this pandemic like ruin my life. Yeah, December of 2020 is when I actually packed everything in my car, anything that would fit. Me and my cousin, we drove down together so that I wouldn't drive alone.
Yeah.
I dropped him off in Vegas, and then I took the last few hours up to LA, and I was living in like a co-living house with like 20 people
Wow.
when this was all happening. I had like there was 3 people in my room, well, 3 including me. So that was a crazy, crazy time. I only lived there for about 6 months because you can only take about 6 months of being that close to 20 people. Just like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I loved having that experience. I instantly had friends when I moved there because, you're so close to everybody. You
Mm.
can't help but make friends. So I think it was a very pivotal point in, my introduction to LA because I don't think I would be where I'm at without that experience. But about 6 months, you're like, get me out of here.
I
Just for
can
the
see you want a
clean
little bit
gas.
of personal space after a while. So yeah.
Yeah, you want a little personal space. Your own room,
Yeah.
instead of a curtain. Can you
Yeah.
imagine? It's not fun.
Yeah.
In a little bunk bed. It's like living in a hostel for 6 months. It was
Mm.
intense. Highly recommend, but just intense. Because it,
Short
it was also
burst.
really cheap. It was only $700 to
Wow.
do that a month, which
Yeah.
was also 3 times as much I was paying in Ohio for rent. So like at the time it was like, how am I going to do this? But you know what? I've always found out that everything kind of works out, and when you make the jump to do things, you realize you have to adapt and make things work, so you kind of just do because you
Yeah.
have to. It's
Mm. Yeah.
always worked out for me that way.
That's so true, isn't it? So when you were in LA, then what were the kind of type of acting jobs that were coming up initially for you that you were kind of finding that you were getting? Because I can see you've got a mix of bits and bobs on your IMDb.
Yeah, I actually was not acting at all the first year I was in LA. Like
Mm.
nothing. I don't think I even auditioned for much. Maybe a few things here and there because well, I was just trying to figure out how to live
Mm.
live in this city, which is hard sometimes. But after that, I did start auditioning a lot, and to be honest, I wasn't really booking anything or much at all. I had booked a lead in a or supporting lead in a feature in Texas.
Mm.
Like, but that was like the biggest thing I'd booked in years, because I at that point had never really booked anything through my agent or anything like that. So I was just kind of getting really frustrated because I'd been acting for so long at that point, and I don't know. I was like, maybe I should kind of switch. Actually, this is right before all the verticals took off for me. Uh, I'll transition into that, but I yeah, like I said, I wasn't really booking anything, and I was starting to get really frustrated, and I was working as a production assistant, so I was behind the camera a lot, which is a very different vibe than working in front of the camera, very two different things. And I was starting to think maybe I should start producing. Like I was like maybe acting isn't my thing cuz I'd been in LA maybe like 2, 3 years at that point, and I was like not booking anything, not even getting auditions for big stuff. Like I was just like I couldn't figure out how to get in the door. So January of last year, I booked a supporting role in a vertical off my demo reel. Like, I didn't even audition for it. I was
Yeah.
like, wow, this is the coolest thing that has ever happened to me. I'm like, I'm gonna be on set. Like, I could not believe it. And that's how I met Daniela. That was in Billionaire's Baby Bargain. That was my first vertical ever.
Yeah.
And I played her sick sister. And it was just one day, but I had the best time. And I was just so happy that someone believed in me to hire me to be on set because I was like in a rut for basically my whole time in LA.
Yeah.
And then that kind of spiraled. And my next booking was 1 Million Reasons to Love a Prince, and that was a lead. So I went from in
Wow.
my vertical career went from day player to lead, like just like boop. And I was like, it was so stressful because, like I said, I hadn't been acting a lot.
Mm.
I was just auditioning, and so the workload of that first vertical was so hard for me. Like I was at home studying every night for, like, I swear, at least 2 hours every single night on top of the 12-hour days that we were doing, just like trying to get these lines into my brain. And it was still a struggle. So the verticals are not for the faint of heart if you've like never done that before. It was intense. Um, but I got through it obviously. And now here we are 27 verticals later.
Mm.
It's crazy.
Okay, this is possibly a slightly challenging question. So, but do you reckon without verticals, do you think you'd still be acting? Because it sounds like you were potentially at a bit of crossroads.
That is a really hard question. I think I would still be auditioning,
Mm.
just not as intensely.
Mm.
And I probably for sure would have pivoted into some kind of producing second AD
Yeah.
role.
So yeah, you'd
Yeah.
probably be.
Or art department, because that was actually a love of mine. I've always told myself, I was like, if acting doesn't work out, I'm going to go to art department.
Mm.
Because I was doing a lot of really cool stuff in art when I was PAing a lot. I got to, have you watched Stranger Things?
Yes. Can we have the details of the Stranger Things name drop you're about to give us?
I didn't work on Stranger Things, but I did work for Stranger Things Geeked Week, and Stranger Things was the thing that they were like hyping up. So I was in charge of all of the props. So I got to hold the guitar. I was in charge of the guitar and the Welcome to Hawkins sign and like the jar of peanut butter and the Walkman and all of that stuff. Like I was in charge of making sure all that stuff was like cool when we were working on this. Like it was like a few day project we were working on. It was so cool. So yeah, if acting ever didn't work out, I would definitely go back to art department. That's my
But
jam.
thankfully, Verticals found you and realised that you were made to be a leading lady because you've been a leading lady and it's amazing. We have to talk about, I would say, would you agree, Final Call for Love is the one that really put you on the map?
Oh yeah. I don't think I would have booked as many verticals without that show. I remember auditioning for that show actually. I was on a PA job in Napa. So I was in a hotel room and I remember I had done my makeup and put mascara on and we did the scene. The audition scene was the one where she loses her baby. So it
Mm.
was that really big intense like, you know, bawling scene. And I was just feeling so emotional that day. And like, I remember reading that and I was just like, I started crying just like reading it, which
Mhm.
for me, that's how I know it like connects with me on a certain level if I read the script and I feel all of these things. Um, and I totally like bawled my eyes out in the callback, just like, and then I was like, okay. They're like, oh, that was so great. We'll be in contact. I was like, okay, cool. I look at myself in the mirror. It's just mascara. It's just running down my face. And I was like, this is what I have looked like for this audition. This is insane. Oh my God. I felt so embarrassed after that happened, but I booked it. So I was like, whatever, it's fine.
And the amazing thing about Final Call for Love, because we were talking about this before I press record, is it is still one of the best performing verticals on Cadol's mini shorts. And you were saying it's a year now. It's been out a
Yeah,
year.
that came
And
out
it's
a year
always up
ago.
there when you look at their trending chart of what's trending. Which is just
Yeah, it has
amazing.
like 28 million on each platform.
Yeah.
So, however that, I think, so that's what, almost 60, close to
Mm.
60 million, 55, something like that, views, which is crazy.
Um, what do you have any sense with these why they connect with people? Because obviously it connected with you because obviously you had an emotional reaction to that script. So I was just wondering if you can get a sense of this one.
Yeah, I really don't know, to be honest. I would like to think it's just, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, do we ever really know why things take off and do well? And I think it's a combination of luck and putting your best foot forward. So
Yeah.
I think it's partially luck, that everyone like really loved it. And it's like this beautiful magical bubble that everyone just gets a little glimpse of. And they're like, and if it makes them feel something, I mean, that's always my goal as an actor, is to make people like feel things, because that's what movies and TV and everything should do. So I always, in my verticals, I'm always trying my best, because at the end of the day, like, if I can, this is kind of my little philosophy. If I can make a vertical good and feel like you're watching a movie, then I've done my job,
Yeah.
and then when I do transition to doing TV and film eventually, it's going to be a piece of cake, because I've already been used to the pace of verticals and trying to deliver my best performance at that pace. When it slows down, I'm going to be like, great. What are we doing today? 10 cry scenes? Great. Cool.
Yeah.
Got that. So that's always my goal. I always say the verticals are my boot camp for when I do bigger things.
Yeah, and it's crazy because obviously you've done so many, and so I'm going to just talk about a few of my favorites. So I really like you in My Secret Husband Is My Boss.
Oh yeah, as Janny.
Yes, yeah, you're fantastic. So you're the main male character's sister.
Yep.
And it's one of those things, if you don't often see sibling relationships in verticals,
That's true. Yeah.
often, or less it's the dastardly stepsister, which we will come to later. You've had a few of those.
Mhm.
But it's the fact that you and Jack, who's played by Jake Hobbs, actually have like a proper, like, bickering sibling relationship. And it's just so nice to see, where you basically kind of punch her every time he's getting a bit pompous. And he just like, it's so fun to watch on screen. So I really love that performance. I think quite a lot of other people did as well.
Thank you. Yeah, that was really fun. That was towards the beginning of my vertical career. I loved being on that set with Cosette and Jake Hobbs, and like we had the best time. We were just vibing the whole time. But I also really liked playing the like nice sister. Like I was not mean. I was very much like, yeah, guys, come on, let's do this. And I think we definitely need more of that in verticals. I think that would be really nice. I hope we get more of that.
Yeah, I like it when there's a mix. So, like, I know you need to have the villains to kind of for the plot and to drive it forward, but it's also
Yeah.
fun. Like, let them have some friends and some good people on their side as well. Like, not just some
Yeah,
handful.
the
Um,
bestie.
and I have to ask about, again, this had to be up there, from Fast Food Girl to First Lady, which I think is also called Double Life of Mr. President.
Mr.
Um,
President.
I love this one because clearly you run a chicken fried shop.
Which is so funny because I'm vegetarian and I do not eat chicken. So I'm like,
Were you all right? I mean, what did they do? Were you feeling sick when you were like they were giving you all the baskets of chicken?
No, I just had to smell it all day. I was like, hmm.
And I mean, that's a real example, isn't it? Because often you get cast in Vertical, and you're like, "Where's my outfit?" And they're like, "Yeah, you're in a you're in a waitress outfit here."
I loved it. I thought it was so cute. I love like fun costumes though. There's one where I'm a that's not out yet, but I'm like I wear a maid costume pretty much the entire film and I was like I love this. Like I was like these funny like little frilly things. I was like I love weird costumes. I'm like I'm all about it. Give me a uniform. I'm so about it. That one was really fun, Mr. President with Nick. We filmed that. That was my first show that I did in Canada.
Yeah, because I wanted to ask about that because obviously I've known you. How did that come about? Because I got to the stage where I had to check. I'm like, are you based in LA or are you based in Canada? Are you
I mean,
American or are you Canadian? And then worked out, obviously, thanks to IMDb, you're American.
yeah, I've
So
been in Canada a lot
what
though.
what what has Canada done to kind of what's the
Well,
appeal? How have they stolen your heart?
everyone's just so nice and wonderful. And how I got that role is they reached out on Instagram, which is how I get most of my roles nowadays.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I just loved the people and everyone is so nice and kind. Everyone says A at the end of their sentences. And everyone's just I just love it. And it's so beautiful there. Um, it's so gorgeous. And we film at these like huge mansions, like huge mansions. There's this one that we filmed Mr. President at, and I filmed a few there since. It's the one where I got pushed in the pool.
Yes. Congratulations for having a pool push.
Thank you. Thank
Got to be
you.
on the Vertical card. Yes, done that.
Actually, that scene was a little traumatic. I'm not even gonna lie. I used to get these crazy ear infections as a kid because I would be in water. Like my
Mm,
my ears would just get water in them.
yeah.
And so I was a little worried about that being pushed in the pool. And we did two takes. We did one the first time. I was like, "Great, got it. Let's go." And they're like, "We're gonna do it one more time." And I was like, "Okay, cool. Let's do it. Let's do it." And the second time I got in a crazy amount of water just like pushed in my ear and it wouldn't come out
Oh
at
no.
all. So I was freaking out that I was gonna get an ear infection. I didn't. It was just an irrational fear. And, sometimes we have those. But yeah, I was freaking out for like an hour.
So who was the person who had you when you were freaking out? Who was the person who looked after Kirby?
Well, well, actually, we still had to finish the scene. So I was supposed to be in the pool, and then Nick is supposed to dive in and save me, and we were supposed to have that kiss underwater.
Mm.
Um, and so before we did it, he knew I was freaking out, and so he just like he had my shoulders, and he was like looking me in the eyes, and he was like, "I got you. Everything's gonna be okay. We got this. Just this one take, and then we're out." I was like, "Okay, yeah, you're right. We got this. Okay, cool." So he helped a lot in that moment. So thank you so much, Nick. Love you
Oh,
so much. I appreciate you. We actually just wrapped our second project together, so I'm really excited about that one to come out. That's the one I was talking about with the maid outfit.
excellent.
Yeah,
Are you-
that one's gonna be a little darker though. I'm not sure if you're gonna like it, Jen. If I'm being honest.
That's all
But
right.
I love it. The script made me cry. So that's always a good sign for me. But yeah, that one it was there's a few scenes that are probably gonna be hard to watch, I think.
So,
So warning.
I wanted to ask you about straight A pregnancy. I feel like you've been pregnant quite a lot.
I'm always pregnant, Jen. Always pregnant. Or I have kids. Which I love working with the kids. They're so good. But I am tired of being pregnant, and I would like a script without pregnancy at some point, please.
Because yeah, but straight A pregnancy is loads of fun because I really like that she finishes. It's a really nice positive message, and she finishes college.
Mm-hmm.
And also you get to be a bit creative in that one because there's the whole fashion thing.
Yes. Yeah, that one was real. I loved that script. Like that was definitely like a dream script for me. Um, because I thought it was just so well written. And I'm very lucky that I got to do that one. Actually, funny story about that one is when I submitted the audition for that, I I had to go to another set because I booked a short film.
Mm.
And so I had this like I had a lot of makeup on, like similar to this where I had like a good amount on.
Yeah.
And that's just not the character at all, but I had to film the audition like that because I was in a crunch. And I know the producer reached back out to me after I submitted it and she was like, "I love you. I loved your audition. I need you to reshoot the audition without any makeup on."
Yeah.
And so I was like, "Ah, okay." So I got back from a really long day of set, went home, reshot the audition without any makeup on, and that's how I booked that one.
Oh, because it's very much, it's a girl next door one, isn't it? Of she's
It
fresh
is
faced.
very much Girl Next
Yeah.
Door. Yeah. So just do the audition right the first time, I guess, is the lesson.
And then what would you say is the first one? I mean, would you say, because you've kind of got a great range and that you've done kind of some kind of really quite intense dramas, but you've also done sort of roles that bring more comedy in. And I mean, Billionaire's Matchmaker is actually a really good example because you get quite a bit of comedy in it, but you've also got some really quite full on emotional scenes as well.
Yeah.
Um, that must be quite, I always think that's quite unusual, a script like Billionaire's Matchmaker, that it actually has both, because normally it seems to be it's one direction or the other with a vertical.
Yeah. That set was so special to me. I loved making every single second of that show because I loved working with the director, Casey Jackson, and of course Jeff Violet. We just like I felt like I was in bliss the whole time because Casey, he directs you, but he's also teaching you about yourself and about acting at the same time. So he's always like pushing you to be your best self and do your best. And I just really, really connected with him on that set. So I think that's how we were able to get such a range of things because at every moment he knew where we were and I knew where we were and
Mm.
where in the story we should be like leaning into. So I think that's why we got those beautiful, beautiful moments in that script.
And and presumably you got to sit and just watch all the chaos of the dates because everyone loves all the.
I love those scenes. Oh my goodness. It's so funny because actually I remember in the script, my character wasn't doing anything. She was just kind of like watching and giggling. And I was like, I gotta give him something. So I was just like, come on, go talk to her. Like whatever the scenario was, I was like,
Yeah,
I just kept adding stuff because it was so fun. And then of course, Miss Sunshine 1964?
I think so. Yeah, I should know.
1964?
I think it's 60 something. Yeah.
Cackling. I mean, I was just dying that whole time. I remember at one point, I have this video of Jeff and he goes like, like, just like help me. And I was like, no, not helping you at all. You dug your grave. I'm gonna let you lie in it. Like, oh man. I think I didn't, at some point, I don't think I knew that they were filming me. And I
Right.
was just there, like, actually, because I couldn't, like, actually laugh out loud because they
Yeah.
were rolling, but I was dying on the inside. I think they actually have a shot of me. I don't know if they put it in. I'm not gonna lie. I never finished watching the show. I don't watch most of my shows because I
Mainly
get a
because you're
little.
not Billionaire, because you'd have to pay a lot because they're all on different apps. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
I actually just recently watched um Dr. Boss 1.
yeah.
Um just because that one was doing well and I wanted to know there was a subplot that was taken out of that one, which I was
Oh,
kind of upset
okay.
about.
Yeah.
They took out the cure, like the whole plot of the cure to
Oh
Crimson
yes, you have
Rush.
the cure to the Crimson Mist thing, don't you? Whatever it's
Yeah,
called.
so they took
Yeah.
out that whole plot. So I was really upset about that. So I wanted to watch it to see what was taken out. And there's definitely some things where I was like, I wish that was still in there. But
Yeah.
anyway, sorry to
No, no, no,
deter.
that's all right. No, it's good. I was going to say, Is that the moment, the set, do you think, that you laughed on the most, those scenes in Billionaire's Matchmaker? Kind of what are the ones where you've absolutely like struggled the most to stay in character?
Ye yeah, definitely up there. Also, the show I did with Casey Esser, uh, Flash Vows and Divorced, oh, How to Divorce a Billionaire, I think. Is that?
Yeah, How to Divorce a Billionaire. Yes.
Yeah, those shows, Casey and I actually had a really hard time uh not laughing a lot on our sets. I don't know what it was, but like I remember there was one take and we were trying to get it before lunch. And him and I, neither of us could hold it together. It's like when you want to laugh so bad, but you know you can't. You're trying to be so professional. That was the only time where I was like, this is not professional of me. I was like, I couldn't stop it. I don't know what it was. But we would just look at each other and he was like putting ointment on my shoulder, I think. I always mix this up with another scene. Maybe it's not this one. Oh, it doesn't matter. I think it was the ointment one. And then we were supposed to like look at each other like lovingly and we were just like, and then we were like, okay, go. We got it. We can do this. So then we do it. And then all of a sudden someone's like stomach starts rumbling and they were just like, we just could not. I don't think we ever got that shot, to be honest. Because then they broke for lunch and I don't think we went back to it.
So we'll move on. We'll cope without the women.
You know, because I think we were trying to get it for like 20 minutes, like an insane amount of time. And we just could not hold it together. I think that's the most I've ever laughed, actually. It was, I don't know. I couldn't tell you why we were laughing, though. Like, it literally made no sense. And I think that's the chaos of it all, really.
And I always love that. They're always quite specific, aren't they? The vertical, you've got a wound and you sort of, someone dabs at it ineffectually with a cotton bud and apparently they're healed. You're like, they've done nothing.
Literally.
Blood oozing everywhere. But no, you're fine now. I dabbed at it with a...
I know. There's definitely like a world of disbelief you have to like live in for the verticals. And I'm like, okay. It's like a little, it's like, they're like fantasy almost. Well, of course, there's a bunch of fantasy, the werewolf ones, which I still have not done. Can we just acknowledge that? I'm like one of the only actors.
I haven't watched it. You loathed by an alpha? Did you get?
Oh, okay. But that was okay. I guess I can't say that anymore. You're right.
But it wasn't a full on. You didn't get to be like Luna or something.
I was in the first scene, and I kind of just did that because Alexa was the lead.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to hang out with her for a day. So I was like, sure, I'll do a day player role.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, I'll come in for a day, hang out, chit chat to everybody. And I literally was in that first scene and that's it. I don't come back ever in the script. Like I'm just sitting there crying. And then the whole scenario starts because of me, but like that's it. Yeah. I was just the crying girl for that one. So I haven't actually led or been a real supporting in a werewolf one.
You've not had like a mating? You've not had like, the red... Yeah.
No.
Would you like
Isn't that sad? I want to do that so bad. I just want to do one. Because it's on my bingo card.
Yeah.
I want to do one. I want to do a vampire one. I feel like that would be so fun. And a Christmas one.
You would be awesome as a vampire, I feel. Yeah. Okay. The options here. Right. Yeah. We need to do those. So I want to ask you about. I'm not going to talk lots about Cohabiting Lover because guess what, people? We've got a whole separate video on that about how much I love Cohabiting Lover. Now you've had like 4 verticals come out in about a week, which is crazy.
I know.
And all doing really well. So we've got Crossing the Line to Love.
Yep.
We've got
which Dr. I was so sick on that show. I felt so bad.
You were really sick.
Yeah. It's terrible. We had to mouthwash in between any kiss scene so that I didn't get life sick. Which I didn't.
This is what I want to know now. Did he make it to the end of the...
He did. He was fine. He got away unscathed. I was on Dayquil, NyQuil, and nasal spray that whole shoot.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So how did they do it? Because actually I spoke to Alex Picton, who's an Australian actor, and he was saying it was a werewolf one that he was really ill during it. So they basically dose him up, do the shot, go and rest. And he took down, hilariously, he took down his beta as well. He made his beta ill.
No,
Cast the plague
no.
on. But I'm very impressed. Well done for not passing it on to your male lead. But is it that? Is it like do what you can and then just go and sleep in a corner until we need you again when you're ill like that?
No, I mean, I kind of just like troop on through it. There was one day that I did take a nap at lunch. I was
Mm.
like, I gotta lay down. But other than that, like, it's just like I'm dying before the take. They say action, and I'm like, da 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 da, cut. Okay, how many more times
Yeah.
are we doing this? Got it.
Yeah.
It's just like you just do what you can.
So it's kind of
So
like the adrenaline and just the professionalism. You just kick in and you can turn it on and then
yeah, it's
Um,
like you get a hit of adrenaline when you have to, and then you go into like energy save mode.
that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And then we've got Dr. Boss is My Baby Daddy, which I think is the number one trending show on Real Short now. Because when I opened my app this morning, it's normally whatever the first thing is that you see.
I It's doing really well. I don't know where it's on the list. Last I checked, it was at like 33 million views, which is
Wow,
pretty good in about a week
that's
because it
pretty
came out
good.
last week,
Yeah.
like about a week ago. So that one's doing really well. Um, I really, really loved filming that one too. That one was so cool. I felt like I was on a real movie set when we were filming that one.
Mm.
I secretly hate the title. That's
Yeah,
a secret.
it's a bit of a
Um, it
it's a
was
vertical
originally,
title, isn't it? So yeah,
I know. It was
yeah.
originally called Crimson Rush. Like that, I was like, which I thought was so cool. I was like, this title is so sick. It's gonna be awesome. And then it was like they changed it to Dr. Boss
Right.
Baby Daddy. And I was like, okay. But the title has not deterred, so that's good. And the scene, like I said, this is the only vertical I've like really watched recently
Um,
of mine. And the scene that even I was like dying laughing was the scene with the pajamas. They
It's very good. I mean, bless her. So basically, your lovely male lead, who is Mark Herman and Graham,
He's
which is
so
not a
wonderful to
cool
work with.
name. That is not a
He's
cool name in the
so
UK.
professional and so kind, and like I really loved working with him.
But Graham's that's like an accountant name. That's not a name in the UK, so that's quite funny. But anyway, he's obviously been really. He's like a perfect male lead in this. He's such a
Mhm.
it's such a lovely character, and he's like, okay, she doesn't have great pajamas. This is like, let's just get her some new pajamas. But
Really
obviously,
kind.
housekeeper takes it into her own head and goes, let's get something sexy. And then obviously you have this brilliant moment where obviously you're trying and then he comes home with his mates. What I love is there's that delayed reaction before you scream.
Yeah.
It's not immediately, which I think is more real of just the pure horror and then the scream rather than the instant scream. It's so good.
I remember I was so uncomfortable when I was filming that scene, which is exactly how I should have been feeling.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh my God, people are just gonna watch me in my nightie? Like, this is crazy. But like, I think I watched that scene like I said, I never watched that stuff, but I watched it like 4 times. Just like I like went back and I was like, I cannot believe I had secondhand embarrassment watching it, and that was me. And I was like, I mean, I'm not embarrassed for myself, but I'm embarrassed for her. Like that sucks.
um,
I think that's my favorite scene ever.
and I have to ask about the set as well, because it really looked like it was a step up of a hospital set. Were you actually on a proper because often sometimes it feels like there's just a room, that's all they've got at the hospital, whereas it felt like there were more corridors and I don't know, it kind of looked familiar to me. I felt like I might have seen it in other TV shows where you filmed all these
Yeah.
things.
I I think I mean I've shot at that location before. But the location does have a lot of medical equipment. I'm pretty sure
Mm.
the place rents out medical equipment to like TV and film shows.
Yeah,
So that's why they had all of that stuff, but they also have a set for medical equipment.
yeah.
Um, Hopefully I'm getting that right. That's just from what I can remember. So that's probably why it looked like really
Mm.
good.
Yeah, it was great. And also you have an absolutely, there's a really beautiful scene where you break my heart, where you're both sat, I can't remember, it's one of many reasons that you've ended up in the hospital bed. You do end up there quite a lot. But
Hmm.
there's something about that basically you realise that Graham's the first person who's ever basically put you first on care. And it's just,
Oh,
it's so beautiful, that scene, in amidst like everything else. There's just this really beautiful little moment of truth of the two of you together.
is is that the one? Not me asking about my own. Is
That's all
that the
right.
one where I'm like I start off reading a book, or is that a different scene?
I can't remember. I just
I like
remember
I start off reading a book,
you
and then he like
cried.
gives me a massage,
Yes, it might be that one. Yeah.
and then we go into the
Yeah.
yeah, that one. Um, that I think that's some of the best acting I've done was that scene. Like I was really feeling it that day. Like yeah, that scene was probably I'm gonna get that on my reel, is what I'm saying.
It is phenomenal. You need to put it on your reel. I would say that's one of the best things I've ever seen you.
Like
Like that moment.
I cried on cue multiple times for that scene
Yeah. But
because
it's
we got it
that,
from multiple angles.
but that's what I love about Versicles, and that, yeah, you get the kind of the madness, but then you have this is like a beautiful moment of truth between you. And it's almost like even
Yeah,
more rewarding because it's almost like a little bit of a surprise. And you're like,
yeah,
oh, I know that feeling is just wonderful. So I just wanted to say that scene is just magical. So just like, thank you for that.
thank you. Yeah, I think I just like I had a really deep connection to that scene personally, and I was like, I know exactly what that feels like. Like I know what this feels like. So I think
Mm.
that's why that felt so good, to watch. Because I just really loved that scene personally too.
And then we have Sleeping Beauty and her three brothers,
Yes, who
which
I
is doing so well. It is top of everything globally.
yeah,
And I think
which is
I know why, because it's different. It's just,
it is quite different. But there's th three of the same thing, right?
yes, there are three that have come out.
Yeah, so I didn't know when I booked that one. Actually, I booked that one super last minute because I was supposed to leave Canada, and then the producer I was working with was like, "Please do this next one." So I ended up staying. I was in
Mhm.
Canada for a month. I did 3 projects back to
Yeah.
back. That was the third one I did. Um, Mr. Governor actually was the first one. Second
Uh,
one was Mafia Lover, which is not out, and then the third one was the Sleeping Beauty and Three Good
yeah.
Brothers. That one they edited that in like 2 weeks. Like put everything together, 2 weeks. I was like, this is insane. Um, yeah, and when I booked it, I didn't know that they were making others. I know there was one, the Vancouver one we were making. There was one
Mm.
in LA being made, and I think there was another one somewhere else. So it was like I guess all the platforms were rushing to be the first one to release this because the Chinese version did so well.
Yeah.
So they were making the English version. Um, but I'm really happy it's doing well. We had a really great time filming that one. And I got to sleep in the pod. So I'm like, I'm kind of not in half the script, which was crazy. I remember reading it and I was like, I mean, I am number one, but I'm definitely not in like 20 pages. And I was like, this is kind of nice. I'm just sleeping in this pod for a while.
I kind of think this is part of my theory of why that one's done so well, because I'm watching it again. That sounds really nice. Just being a pod, no one bothering me, no emails.
Yeah,
Everyone fixes their own dinner. I don't have to do the
yeah,
laundry. I think it's like
literally.
a sign of modern life, but that sounds really nice. I used to do that for a year and then out again.
And then you wake up feeling like as fresh as ever. Like,
Exactly.
didn't age, didn't do anything, just, oh,
But yeah,
bye, thank you.
Um, I also think there's something as well, because obviously there's some come out. So this one got out so fast. I mean, I think it's got you. Don't underestimate the fact that people will have watched it because you're in it and you're a really big name. So there'll be that.
Thank you, that's so
I
sweet.
think the title works really well because Sleeping Beauty kind of instantly gives you an idea. But then the
Mm-hmm.
Three Brothers is like, okay, it's not that. I also think the poster's brilliant because it obviously has you in the pod. And it's really blue. And that sounds really silly, but a lot of verticals, it's black and red, whereas the blue if you're just scrolling through an app, it stands out. I just feel like they got loads of little bits that all just sparked off together. And then you start watching, and obviously it's got such a strong opening. You're like, what the heck's going on? You then
Yeah.
stay to find out, like, why is she making this decision? What's going on? And then you meet the family. You're like, okay, that's just why she wants to make the decision.
Oh, that script was so sad about the cat pumpkin. I was like, oh my God, we're gonna have to give a trigger warning to people watching this. I was like, it's so
Yeah.
sad. Oh, that part was really devastating. Actually, when we here's a fun little tidbit about that. I actually don't know if I should share this, but do you remember the video, or there's a video at the end where I have this whole clip where I make a video of myself and send it to the family.
Yeah.
Um that I thought I was gonna have 6 scenes in between to memorize that. Um and I ended up not having that, and they put it next on the list because one of the actors wasn't there yet due to scheduling conflicts,
Mhm.
but no one had told me. So I had to
Oh,
memorize that 5-page 2-camera like thing in like an hour.
wow.
So we did that in 2 takes. We did it in the first take actually, and everyone gave me like a standing ovation. They were like, "Wow, that was so good." I don't know which take they used, to be
Yeah.
honest. But then we just did a second one for fun, and they were like, "Wow, we thought this was going to take so long." And then we just moved on to another thing. Like, it was crazy. I was like, it was definitely like crunch time when like that scene came on, because it's just talking like to the camera, like
Mm.
no other scene
It's absolutely
partner, just like
crucial. I mean, it's like the
expressing
most
your.
important scenes. So, yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the harder things I've had to do for Vertical, and I was like stressing. But you know what? It all worked out, and everyone's been telling me that they really loved the video part. So that
Nice.
was really nice.
Um, when you're in that crunch situation and you're learning, is there kind of any techniques that you have?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I actually, in my script, so normally I'm a paper script person. I recently switched to my iPad. I don't know if I like it yet. Don't know if I'm going to go
Right.
back, but I'll always write like on the left-hand side of my script, the first letter of each word.
Mm,
And then I put a little box around it. I don't know what that does for me, but I think it makes it seem less scary,
yeah.
especially if it's a lot of words. I and then I know I have it if I can look at that little bubble box and tell you exactly what those lines are. So I
Oh,
think it's
wow.
just like a check for me to make sure I have it.
Yeah.
But I've been doing that. I started doing that really early on in my vertical
Mm.
career, and it's helped me a lot, I think. So I'm going to keep doing that just on the iPad now, saving some paper.
Did you pick that up from anyone else? Or was that just something you devised
You know
yourself?
what? I watched a YouTube video about how to memorize lines when I first started booking the leads for the verticals. I think it was that first vertical I did as a lead. I was
Yeah.
like, I need to figure out some techniques to memorize all this stuff, because I didn't know how to do it at that point. Like
Yeah.
I just gotten used to memorizing like auditions. It's like a page or two. And I'm like, you're telling me I have to memorize 10 a day? I don't know what to do. So that's how I picked that up. Um, oh, I'm hungry. Do you hear my stomach?
That's
I
fine.
have to eat lunch
That's
soon.
okay.
But yeah, so that's YouTube. YouTube
Yeah.
is great. It
Oh,
has
come. I
everything.
was hoping we could call it the Kirby Ellwood method and there could be a whole book and
I wish. I know. I mean,
oh,
we could
let's
do.
someone YouTube got there first.
So true. I heard Pedro Pascal does that.
Oh, well, you're in very good company then if you're doing it and the internet's boyfriend. I mean, you're fine.
Exactly.
And then, yeah, I just have to finish like just talking about, obviously, you've been so great. We've had so many great shows to talk about. Is Mr. Governor Let Go of Our Baby, which is out on Dreamy Short, which I think it'd be fair to say is your entry into the Breaking the Ice canon of that start of the story, in that obviously you're
Which one? What do
together.
you mean?
Well, it's the kind of we call as fans, it's called the Breaking the Ice storyline because it's they're together, someone interferes and says you can't be with him because of whatever career he's and blah blah
Uh,
blah. But of course
yeah.
there's a baby, and then obviously reunited, and at some point he has to find out there's a baby and they get together and it's all fine. um
Yep. Yep.
but
That
we haven't seen
definitely is.
one put in the political world yet, which is a really nice and really works as a reason why they were told to break up as well, and the kind of can they get back together because it is his political career. um and yes, you get to be a janitor talking about your glamorous costumes,
I
you and
know.
your mop.
I was doing all this broom acting, like holding this broom, like falling into him while still holding the broom. It was just like, at one point I was like, am I the actor? Is the broom the actor or the mop, whatever it was? I was like, it's doing the heavy lifting for me at this point. And I loved our daughter on that show. She just breaks my heart into a million pieces in the best way. Like, I adore her. Her name is Isabel, but I call her Isa. She played my daughter in the last show I just shot too. So
Oh wow, so you
she's
got
been
to
my daughter
spend time.
twice now, and she is just the best. At one point I was like, maybe I should be taking acting classes from you, because like every time you give a performance, I'm just like, yeah, am I your mom? Like, I feel like it sometimes. Like, you really make me believe it. So I just loved her so much. I think she's my favorite part about making Mr. Governor.
Because they are phenomenal, aren't they? The child performers that come into verticals, just they just the
They're,
way that they just come and deliver, and obviously are normally quite crucial because they have to sort their parents out and get them together. I
they're
mean, they're
so
just
good.
brilliant.
And half the time they know your lines. Yep. Like if you're ever like, oh, what was that line? They're like, it's this. Da 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 da. And I'm like, how do you know that? They put you in your place a little bit. Like if you ever like, oh, what's that line? And they're like, and then everyone laughs and you're like, you know what? I gotta do better. I gotta do better. Not that I go up on my lines a lot. Like very rarely will I be like line, but occasionally it happens. But I
So,
don't think she ever went on up any of her lines.
so out of all your projects, obviously, I feel like you've been so generous. Which ones are kind of your favourites? And then also, then going forward, what would you like to do still in the vertical world? What's on your bingo card? So you've mentioned werewolf and vampire, but anything else?
Oh, I have a whole bingo card that I literally made a bingo card because I was like, I I want to get bingo. I don't know what I'm gonna do when I hit bingo,
Yeah.
but we're gonna figure it out. Um, I have to say I love them all for different reasons because I'm just so grateful to be doing them. Like I genuinely really love filming these. Do I want more variety and more interesting plot lines? Yes. I would really love to do like some dystopian one. Like I think that would be so cool. Or where you were talking about the pirate one, I'm like, that
Pirate
has to
one was
happen. Like just some like new fun plots. I would love to do a time period piece. That's on my list.
yeah,
Um, oh, there's another one that I really of course I want to do a holiday one, like a Christmas themed one, because
yeah,
it's kind of been a dream of mine to do like a Hallmark-ish movie,
yeah,
because I just think that's fun. I love all the cheesy like stuff. That's probably why I
yeah.
like doing verticals so much too. But let me look up my bingo card really fast. Oh, so I was obsessed with White Lotus for a while. So I really want to do like a vacation gone wrong and like film it
Oh,
somewhere like I don't know, like Thailand. That's on my list. I'm trying to pitch that.
excellent. I love that.
Um, a murder mystery would be really cool. Spy, some kind of like fencing or Christmas or anything like that.
Yeah.
Those are on my
I
list for
feel like
now.
I think we need to see Kirby Ellwood action star. That would be good.
That'd be
Yes.
so. Give me like the Tomb Raider vibe. I'm like, let's
Yeah.
go.
You could do that. Um,
Yeah.
are there any as well? Because like people within the vertical industry that you're like, I'd love to work with. Because obviously you've worked with a lot of huge names. Is there anyone that you're like, it'd be amazing just to learn and
Oh my
work with and vibe
goodness.
with?
I mean, everyone I haven't worked with. Like, I want to meet everybody and work with everybody. Like, that's kind of my goal. Um, I mean, there's so many vertical actors. I really want to do a girls cast one. Like, I would love that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm dying to do a girls cast. Like, just where I don't know what the plot would be, but like that would be so cool. Like, it's just like five girls, just like, and that's the main cast. Um, that's mostly my goal is to do that. But anyone, everyone, I
Just yeah.
really loved. I just wrapped with Tyler. Tyler, he's gonna kill me if I don't get his name right. Tyler Schreier.
Yeah.
Okay, I just worked with him, and I really loved working with him. But I love working with all of my co-stars. Like I always have such a like a good time and a wonderful relationship with everybody. Um, which I'm so thankful and lucky for.
Would you say that's one of the best things about verticals? That's the impression that I get, that just genuinely everyone, I mean, you obviously gave the example of when, the swimming pool and sort of Nick was just basically like, we'll do this together. It's the impression that I get that everyone genuinely looks after each other, which you kind of need to because it's so intense.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're all here for each other, you know? Like if anything is intense, like even I know me and my male co-stars, we check in about like the intimacy stuff and we're like, you cool with this? You good? Like, is there anything you're uncomfortable with? So like everyone's just making sure that everyone's okay. And I think that's what it should be, you know?
It's great.
And
Um,
everyone's just so nice.
oh, so good. And then I just want to ask you about, because obviously you mentioned that you are doing some promos for your own stuff on TikTok. So how does
Mhm.
social media fit in? Because obviously it's sort of changed from when you started last year to now. Obviously, there's a lot more vertical stuff on social media. I mean, I crashed onto the scene 6 months ago, and it's kind of annoying and loud. Um,
I
but
love
yeah,
it
what is
though.
that like? Because it must be a whole new dimension now. And then the fact that you've got a fan page, and
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Aileen, I love her.
who's the best?
Um, the best. Every time I look at anything, any content that she makes for me or for her, I'm like, it's so pretty. Like, it's just so pretty. And I'm so lucky that she's running my fan account.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, in terms of social media, like, social media has never really been my thing. That's not something I was like, yeah, I'm good at social media. I'm like, I don't really know what to do. And it kind of makes me a little uncomfortable. But I've just recently started doing a lot of TikToks because I understand that no one's going to know who I am unless I show them who I am.
Mm,
So I think I'm really grateful for the verticals too because it's opened up a lot of avenues for me to talk about certain things that's happening in my life. Like I feel like I always have something to talk about,
mm,
or show them behind the scenes stuff and just kind of figure out my style and what I want to show on the audiences to like, here's a little glimpse into my life as a vertical actor. Just
yeah.
show them my personality and I've realized it's kind of fun, doing the social media stuff. Like it doesn't have to be a job as like how I has always imagined it to be. I'm like, I can make a video in 60 seconds and not think about it too hard. And that's what's going to do better because I think that's what shows who you are and your personality more than thinking about all these ideas and putting all this like thought into it. At least for me, that's kind of my style. But I don't know how it's going to affect all of the verticals and stuff. I guess yeah, I don't know. I just love promoting the shows too because then people get to tell me what they thought about it. It's like a personal connection to me and the audience.
Mm,
So I get a firsthand account of how everybody's feeling about the show because I'm like I always ask them to comment. Be like, let me know what you thought. Like, because I read all those comments. I don't get to reply to all of them because it takes a lot of time. I wish I could. I wish I had like 1,000 hours in a day and I would respond to every single person. But yeah, it's just like an inside look for me, and I love that.
oh, that's such a lovely answer. And then just for the year ahead, what are you most excited about that you've got coming up?
Well, I am writing a vertical script. I know. With my really good friend Paul Addison. I don't know if you know him, but we came up with an idea like last August when we were working together on Single Dad Hunt. And I had a friend reach out and they were like, "Hey, we're looking to like option some scripts and do you have one that you would be attached to?" And I was like, "Oh shoot." I was like, "Okay, Paul, we got to write this script. It's gonna happen." So we're in the process of writing it right now, and I think it's a rom-com.
Excellent.
So
I'm there with my popcorn then. You got one viewer.
it's a rom-com, and I think it's gonna be really good. I can't tell you any details because he'd probably be mad at me if I said anything online. So can't say anything, but I think it's gonna be good. So hopefully we'll get that done in the next year. Obviously, hopefully shorter, but I'm not really a writer. I've never really written. Um, he has, thankfully, but I don't know what I'm doing. We're just figuring it out. So I think that's what I'm most looking forward to in the next year or so. And then hopefully some TV auditions.
Yeah.
I would really love to be on a TV show. That's my next goal.
And if it's on a vision board, we know it will happen at some point. Sorry.
Oh, it is on the vision board, Jen. It's on there. Don't worry. Actually, I'm due for a new one. So I'll probably be posting about a new one I'm going to make in the next like few months here because I always do one in August and August is coming up.
Okay, and this is see, I normally ask random questions at the end. I'm going to ask you specific. So, right, how to make a vision board with Kirby Ellwood. Okay, are you like, do you get magazines? Do you print stuff out? Kind of
I
what's your
do
process?
I do both. So there's this like really cute shop like it's like Laurel Tavern magazine newsstand something like right by me. So I'll go there and I will spend like an hour looking through all of the magazines and trying to find like stuff that really resonates with me. And I'll probably get about 5, which magazines are expensive. I didn't know they were so expensive. And I'm like, this actually it cost me like $100 to do like how I do it. But then again, now I've collected so many magazines that I have stacks now, so I'll go through the old ones, see if anything new resonates, and then I'll get the new ones and then add that. And sometimes I'll paint the canvas first if I want a backdrop. And then it's very much a collage style. So I sit there, cut everything out, look at it, and like kind of just like put all of the pieces together, make it exactly how I want, glue it down, and then you have to do this part. This is the fun part. You go back in and you Mod Podge it. So everything stays down. It doesn't go anywhere.
What is basically crafters. You need that in your life. It will change your world.
And you can get different finishes. There's like sparkly, there's gloss, there's satin. So you pick a finish, however you want that to be. And then the fun part is I have these like little puffy paints and I have Sharpies and all these like fun little stickers. And I add that on top. And then you do another layer of Mod Podge.
I love it. And I feel that you have got this massive creative side of you that is also an outlet for then and lets you do all that as well.
Yeah, I kind of do one major painting every 6 months. Like this one.
I mean, it's stunning.
This one is my pride and joy.
Oh, Kirby, it's beautiful.
It's my favorite thing I've ever done in my entire life. But this is a collage, so I printed these like butterflies out.
Yeah.
And then I put these on, but it's all like textured too. So it's like it's not just
this. Yeah,
do
you
you
can see
see
it's
it's
not
all
flat. Oh wow.
Yeah, but
Mixed media. See, I know about this. Mixed media. That's what that is.
yes, mixed media. So that's kind of always been my thing because I just like I think art is it's more than just one thing for me. And then it also kind of really reflects how I'm feeling and my emotional state at the time of making it. Like I think all of my paintings kind of feel like a person, like in a person's personality. I don't know what it is, but it's just because it's like layers and layers and layers of like texture and paint and different structures and patterns, and you just lay that all on. I don't know. I just love it. It's like I usually put TV on, like the TV on, put like some random show on, and just sit there. I usually do this in about 2 days. So I'll make one painting in about 2 days, And I just sit there, have the TV on, and just paint all day. It's like a zen feeling for me. Like I get very like at peace, and
Wow.
then it's done, and I move on, and I usually feel better about whatever thing I was going through.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Kirby Ellwood, you're an absolute superstar. I can't thank you enough. You're just wonderful. And just thank goodness Vertical's found you, because you have just given us so many amazing performances. And just thank you, thank you, thank you for everything you do.
Thank you so much, Jen. This has been an absolute pleasure. I'm so glad we got to do this. And I love you so much. And thank you for advocating for all of our vertical wants and needs, because we really appreciate and we really want that. And so we love you. I love you. You're amazing.
Will you?
I'm meeting a superstar too.
That's hilarious. Sorry, that's made me laugh. It's very inelegant. We'll end on that, me snorting in the camera.